Yo, it's your boy Casual Real with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one. And a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it because I already know you read the title. And yes, for this, it's Terence Crawford's keys to victory. How can he pick apart the likes of Canelo Alvarez? And yes, before we go any further, we do this for both fighters. This is not a prediction. This is just a keys to victory, some points of how these two men can win this upcoming fight, September 13th, 2025. We do it for Canelo as well. Check those videos out. And for this, let's get into it. Terence Crawford, you read it. Hand speed and endurance. How can he pick apart Canelo Alvarez? And yes, we picked the word pick apart because in this category, this is going to be a keys to victory that if he can master this well, he could pick apart and make this fight easy for himself. Let's get into it, right? Hand speed. That's the easy one. It's what it says. It's hand speed. He's got to be quick on the draw, quick with the twitch muscles, beat Canelo Alvarez to the punch, be aware of what Canelo Alvarez is doing, how he's moving, how his body lines up when he wants to throw certain punches, beat him to the punch. It's not good enough just to have a reach advantage. In this case, yes, Terence Crawford has about an inch and a half reach advantage on Canelo Alvarez. And that's a big thing in boxing. Even just an inch is good. You can pull that jab out and keep some room moving all night, especially if you've got the quicker feet and better footwork, which Terence Crawford already has. That's in another keys to victory. Check that one out. But you combine that with some good hand speed, and you can dog walk all night. You can move around all night. You don't need to have a lot of power, just enough pop to offset the movement of Canelo Alvarez. With that hand speed in place, you can land punches and bunches and you can be active. You can stay offensively sound while also with that hand speed increasing your defense because you're getting out the way quicker. You're hitting him first and getting out the way, you're moving. But if you're slow and you're sitting around trying to admire your work, because sometimes you can be the faster puncher, but sometimes some of these guys just either overthink their punch or admire the work they just did and get caught and get clipped and get countered. And that will happen to you with Canelo Alvarez. Now, don't get me wrong. You will get hit by Canelo Alvarez, which is going to lead into our endurance category. But let's finish up hand speed real quick. If you admire that work and get clipped, well, then your hand speed advantage went out the window. So you got to be responsible. You got to be sound. You got to be disciplined. And I think Terence Crawford is. Now, he's not the fastest puncher out the West, but he's quick enough in beating Canelo. Canelo's not the quickest straight puncher. He's a good, quick counter puncher. But overall, punch to punch, he's not the fastest. Terence has that advantage, at least in hand speed, and able to get his punches off quicker than Canelo. Again, not an Amir Khan type puncher, not even a Floyd. Floyd was quick. But it's quick enough, and it's actually at a high standard enough that he can definitely take advantage of Canelo that way and keep pumping that jab, pumping the straight left, depending on which style he wants to fight out of, and just really beat Canelo to the punch. And when you have the hand speed, you can land more punches, which gets to the point you need to score more points, obviously, right? He's not knocking out Canelo. Let's get that straight. He just needs to be active, score more points, clear effective punches. And the best way to do that, man, is to hit him with the punches he can't see. Hand speed. Enough on that, because that's really just an easy topic, right? Endurance. This is the real challenge. Because you can have all the hand speed in the world, the best punches landing in the world. Ask Amir Khan. But if you don't have no endurance, and endurance goes into multiple categories. Endurance to me means obviously stamina, meaning you can keep your output clean, constant, and effective throughout the entire fight. It needs to be at a high rate. Why am I bringing this up? Terence Crawford needs to manage his punches well, but not taper off. He needs to be laying them out. He needs to be active in that ring. He needs to be laying punches and bunches and scoring at a high volume with a high percentage. You're not going to beat Canelo by just pity-patting, moving out of the way and think you're just going to win on a high percentage with low volume. No, you got to do both. It's got to be high volume of punches landed with high volume of percentage. That's the only way to win this fight. You're not knocking him out again. I don't see it. I just don't see a knockout for Terence Crawford on this fight with Canelo Alvarez. That chin is too granted. But if you got the right endurance that drives your stamina, you can definitely land clean, effective punches and show that you were the more aggressive fighter, the more clean punching fighter who also engaged and outpointed Canelo Alvarez. Also with endurance. To me, that also means your endurance to take a punch throughout the fight. Now, most people say that's resistance, chin, and heart, but endurance actually encompasses all that. If you have the right endurance and take shots to the body, because you're going to take them, you're going to get hit. Canelo is going to land. Canelo is going to counter, and he's going to attack that body. He is a good body puncher at that, especially with that hook. Either side, by the way. He's got a nasty right and he's got a nasty left hook. You will get hit to the body. Is your body ready to withstand the storm? Do you have the proper endurance to withstand these hard blows that are going to come from Canelo Alvarez? If you have the right endurance, which I think he does, at least to the body, meaning Terence Bud Crawford, then you can endure the storm, endure what's going to come your way. Not saying you need to get into a slugfest with Canelo Alvarez. That is not what we're saying. But when you get hit, endure the hit, keep moving, and it doesn't bring you down. Your output remains at a high level. That is the definition of endurance. Endure what's coming your way. Endure this challenge. Last, endurance of the mind. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going all 12. Can you stay focused? Can you stay dedicated? Can you stay disciplined to the game plan, especially when you're being successful? That's probably the hardest thing to do. When you're getting good and you're looking good and you're boxing better than you thought you would have. Can you endure the fatigue that's going to set up on you, on top of endure the fact that you're probably doing better than what you thought? Endurance of implementing the appropriate game plan, and endurance of understanding that Canelo's never going to back down. He's going to press you the entire fight, even when he looks tired. Endurance of the mind of trying to understand where he's trying to place you at and cut off the corners. Do you have the endurance and mental fortitude to carry throughout this fight at a high level, constantly thinking? With hand speed and endurance at a high, you can pick apart Canelo Alvarez. Why did we say that? You saw Floyd Money Mayweather do it. You saw Bivol do it. Now, Floyd's fight was obviously the easiest that could have happened. You're not going to be that easy. You're not Floyd. But you're damn sure as good as Bivol, actually better. Study what these two men have did and combine that. They had endurance throughout the entire fight, weathered the storm, weathered the pressure that Canelo Alvarez was bringing to him, and both men clearly won both of those fights. Have endurance of learning what the likes of Lara failed at, who was winning that fight. Some still argue that he actually won that fight. Understand where he lacked that by not being too active. While we brought up that endurance being driving more punches, being able to have high volume and punches with that percentage, because Lara was highly accurate. There just wasn't enough punching going on towards the end of that fight. Well, I was about to get into Mr. Running Man Skull, but I think we all know what he did wrong. Let's talk about Triple G. The endurance he had, weathered the storm. Many argue he won the first fight. He weathered that storm and gave punches back to Canelo. He stood in the fire, stood in that kitchen. I'm not saying that's the fight for you, by the way. I don't think it is. But you look what his body took. You look what his head and chin took. He endured that storm, endured the weather of Canelo, and looked him in his face and kept fighting and took him all 12. Hell, all 3 fights for that matter. You're going to need that type of endurance that Triple G had. I'm not saying your Triple G of type of endurance. That man is something built to something else. But if you look at that, study what he did, study how he absorbed certain blows from Canelo Alvarez while they're sitting in the pocket, because you're going to get caught in the pocket once or twice there throughout the fight. Canelo's good. He can trap you. But just watch how he endured and absorbed certain blows from Canelo Alvarez. Combine that with the endurance and the mind and the tactics and the fortitude that you had to combine from the likes of Bivol and Floyd Money Mayweather, and you have yourself a nice tactic. But again, to Bivol and Floyd, once they had that hand speed advantage, which they did, once they had that ring IQ, the endurance, and knowing where to place their shots at, it was easy work, especially for Floyd. Bivol, had some tough times throughout that fight. He got caught clean. Look at his endurance, how he absorbed some of those blows, even when they hurt. He was able to endure that pain and continue on. If you can't take the blows from Canelo Alvarez, even at a minor amount, I'm not saying keep getting hit and keep getting hit and keep getting hit. I'm saying you're going to get caught. When you get caught, just absorb it well. Have that mental fortitude to press through and endure the pain. We'll leave you with this. It's just the keys to victory, right? But if you combine hand speed, period. Speed is king. Speed is everything. Speed will help you turn a hard fight into an easy fight. You can't defend from what you can't see. And you can't hit a man when you're too busy getting hit. Bring that speed. That's why we started with it first, hand speed. And endure the moments that you do get caught. Endure those moments when you get fatigued, worn out. You can make this a good fight for yourself and potentially an easy fight for yourself. Now, being honest, I don't think it's going to be easy. I doubt it's easy for either man to win this fight. But if you master that and master a few other things that we talked about and bringing those keys to victory, those points, you got something. But anyways, that's our opinion on this. Let us know what you think. Can Terence Crawford implement these, and will it even help him at all? Hit that like button. It's free. Comment below. Subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. Until the next time, it's your boy Casual Rubber Sign 8 Podcast. Peace.